Yo, did the Donald Trump White House just admit they could manipulate time and space? Yeah, they did. And it has huge implications for you, your life, the nature of reality, and how you can bend reality with your mind. All right, and like I just said, they admitted to it. It's literally right here on the whitehouse.gov official website. It says, word for word, a direct quote off the White House website from the Science and Tech Director. Our technologies permit us to manipulate time and space. It was a straight up claim that the US has gear to, teleport stuff, defy gravity. Most news outlets slept on this. But if you are into how reality works, government secrets, the nature of consciousness, then this is really important because it's not about fancy military toys. You can actually use this knowledge to bend reality with your mind. And to unpack this, we're going to be diving into 6 themes that tie together the White House saying that they have this technology to manipulate time and space. So number 1, we're going to talk about Nikola Tesla's research and 5 of his official government patents on controlling gravity and time. Number 2, 8 declassified government and U.S. military projects that have been working to bend time and space to control reality. The crazy thing is they've been studying this for decades. Number 3, quantum physics shows reality is flexible, especially when you're watching it. And if that doesn't make sense yet, I will show you how you can control your reality with your thoughts, and I will explain step by step how you can use these findings to predict your own future. Number 4, do you remember the Malaysian Airlines flight that vanished in thin air? I'm going to show you scientific teleportation theories that tie together what the White House was hinting at, that you can manipulate time and space. And it's actually simpler than you think. Number 5, I'm going to show you the science behind Trump's White House saying that they can manipulate time and space. And I'm going to show you how all of this science also proves that your mind controls your reality, which is really the ultimate truth. And number 6, if you watch this entire video all the way through, you will see that the government is actually hinting at something much deeper than just some military technology to time travel. And the real secret that they are hinting at will change your entire life forever. Alrighty then, I know I sound crazy by now, but let's dive right into it. First though, my name's Jake with JakeDucey.com, wishing you a beautiful day. If you believe that the government has technology like this, let me know in the comments down below. If you believe that you can create your own reality, be sure to check out my free success hypnosis. It's jakeshypnosis.com. You can click right over there, or it is linked at the description and pinned as the top comment in this video. It's my free success hypnosis. About 1 million people from all over the world have used it. Your subconscious mind controls your life and your reality. When I started listening to this, I was making $1,500 a month. Within 24 months, I was making over $1 million a year. And every day I get these epic stories of people who make more money, they get a new job, all types of crazy things start happening in their life. It's free. Just listen to it for a couple minutes a day. You can click right there or go to jakeshypnosis.com. Now, we got to start this with Nikola Tesla because you can't have a conspiracy theory video without Nikola Tesla. And of course, everyone knows who he is, right? And when he died, now this is crazy because this fits in with the current White House and the statement that they made and Donald Trump. In 1943, when he died, the FBI swooped in. They took all of his research, all of his patents, all of his notes, all of his stuff on anti-gravity, and then they memory hold it. They essentially blacklisted it so that it wasn't released out into the public. But here's the thing. John Trump, Donald Trump's uncle, an MIT electrical engineer, he gained access to Nikola Tesla's inventions and patents after Tesla's death in 1943. So when Tesla dies, the US government, they raid his facilities, they seize all of his papers, right? Because they were concerned about his energy weapon called the death ray and some of his other technologies that they weren't privy to. So the FBI tasked John Trump, Donald Trump's uncle, with analyzing all these documents. Now, considering what the Trump White House just said about manipulating time and space, it's kind of weird synchronicity. So what are some of these secrets that the government has kept hidden that Nikola Tesla had? Number one, in the 1890s, he came up with the dynamic theory of gravity, saying gravity isn't a fixed force, but it's a side effect of electromagnetic waves hitting an invisible ether energy field. So it's like this energy soup filling the universe. And Tesla thought if you vibrated this ether with high frequency waves, you could cancel gravity, teleport objects, or even mess with time itself. Number two, in 1897, he had patent 593138. The electrical transformer. So Tesla designed coils that bend electrical fields that could make objects lighter and essentially tweak time and space. So this was his first experimentation into anti-gravity. Number three, patent number 685957, an apparatus for the utilization of radiant energy, as it was called. So this was like a gadget that he created that could essentially shoot energy waves against gravity to lift particles. And it was really the beginning of his anti-gravity invention. Number four is his patent 1119732, which was, quote, an apparatus transmitting electrical energy, also known as the Wardenclyffe Tower. So this is his famous tower. It wasn't just for wireless power. It could vibrate objects and it could make them weightless, like a giant anti-gravity machine that could manipulate time and space. Number five was patent 1655114, the method of aerial transportation, as it was called. So Tesla dreamed this wingless flying machine powered by electrical fields. And if that sounds familiar, it's kind of like the whispers that we hear about reverse engineered UFO crafts in military bases using energy fields, and thus it is not using traditional propulsion systems. Now, if you are watching this, you might find this fascinating. You may also be like, what's the point? Well, all of this is hinting, as you're about to find out, to the nature of reality itself, and ultimately how your consciousness can bend the nature of reality so that you can get exactly what you want, that you can manipulate the energy fields, because your bank account's just an energy field, your future's just an energy field, your love life, your house, your car. You can bend reality to get anything that you want, and that's what I'm going to show you throughout the rest of this video. Now, all of that leads us to number 6 from Tesla, which was his Colorado Springs notebooks. So he had these private sketches on etheric winds, which was energy flows in time and space. And this was really like teleportation tech before we knew it by the name. So he wanted to create gravitational ripples, and then you could hop onto these ripples to be able to go from New York to London, from Los Angeles to New York, almost instantaneously, because you're essentially splitting time and space by getting onto these energy flows or these energy currents. Now, the crazy thing is scientists didn't even confirm these waves existed until 2015, but Tesla was already designing machines for it. So his ideas are probably the blueprint for what the White House is bragging about, if you could split time and space like that, right? But at the end of the day, we don't know how everything that Tesla did ties into all this because they hid his best stuff. But clearly it's proof that reality can be bent and you can use your mind in order to do it. Now, let's move on to part number 2, which is government secrets on the nature of reality and what it means for you. So basically, the US didn't stumble onto this tech on their own. They've been having programs that have been trying to reverse engineer Tesla and other people's inventions for a long time, and they've declassified a lot of their military research. Number one is Project Rainbow, aka the Philadelphia experiment. There's been a bunch of books written on that. So the US Navy tried to make this Navy ship invisible to radar with electromagnetic fields. And rumors say they teleported the ship with the sailors stuck in the walls or vanishing and all this stuff. In my opinion, it's probably exaggerated, but it shows that they were trying to mess with time and space early. They were trying to make it invisible to radar so it couldn't get spotted by Russia and other enemies, and using electrical fields to literally manipulate the ship. Number two is Project Silverbug, which was a U.S. Air Force project. So they declassified this in 1995, and this was about a saucer-shaped craft that hovered using electrical fields, which is straight out of Tesla's playbook that we just talked about, right? So do you remember all those weird drones we were seeing at the end of 2024 on the East Coast and ultimately all over the place? Maybe they were anti-gravity craft using electrical fields, and that's why that they were traveling so quick, so fast, and moving in all these weird directions. But let me be clear, I'm just speculating as the nature of those things. You could let me know in the comments, what do you think those drones were? Could they have been anti-gravity things like that, or were they just drones? Let me know what you think. Number three is Project Blue Fly and Moondust. So these U.S. Air Force programs were tasked with recovering objects of unknown origin, so officially described as downed Soviet satellites or tech. And lots of people believe that they retrieved extraterrestrial crafts with advanced anti-gravity systems, which the US may have studied and then reverse engineered to develop their own reality bending technology and crafts. Number four is DARPA. So DARPA was studying electromagnetic fields. So first, though, if you don't know, DARPA is kind of like the Pentagon's secret advanced technology company. Like if you combine one of the biggest technology companies in the world with all of their scientists, all their inventors, and then you turned it into a secret company within the US military, that's like basically what DARPA is. So DARPA launched something called GRAVEM program. So they were exploring how electromagnetic fields could interact with gravity to reduce an object's weight or even make it float. And declassified documents have been kept hidden very tightly, but leaked memos say that they achieved small-scale gravity reduction in lab tests, keeping all those breakthroughs classified to advanced secret tech programs. Now, again, what DARPA was doing, it sounds a lot like what Tesla was already doing to make particles and objects essentially float or have anti-gravity properties by manipulating electromagnetic fields. Now, we could keep going on and on, declassified government document after government document, but what's the point? The point is to show you that the government has been working on time and space tech to manipulate reality for a very long time. So what they put out on the website today, that it's not new. And as you're going to see, the science behind how they're doing it aligns perfectly with what we now know about quantum physics. And ultimately, you don't need fancy government technology to manipulate energy fields because you are an energy field. Your thoughts are energy fields. Heck, when you're in the hospital, right? Like if you're sick and in the hospital, they're measuring your brain waves, right? And your heart waves. And when you flatline, you're dead. So they're measuring the electrical activity of your brain waves all the time. My point is, you literally are an energy being. You are the most powerful form of creation, and you can manipulate energy fields, and everything you want is an energy field. A car is just an energy field. You can get the car you want. You can get the house you want. You can get the amount of money you want, the soulmate you want. Your health is just a manifestation of a certain bandwidth of frequency of energy. And I'm going to break this all down so you know exactly how reality works so you can start to control it for your favor. But first, before we get there, let's go down one of the internet's favorite conspiracy theories in part 3, the Malaysian Airlines flight that mysteriously vanished in midair. And as you can see on the video here, it was weird. Like, it just kind of disappeared. Now, when it vanished, there was no wreckage. So there was no answers. Nobody knew where it went. It just like disappeared out of the air. Like, it didn't crash. It vanished. And then in 2016, a physicist named Ashton Forbes got his hands on a satellite footage showing 3 glowing orbs circling the plane right before the radar blinked off. And according to experts at infrared radar technology, the heat signals showed that these orbs were plasma bubbles, like super intense energy field heat that could have swallowed the jet. Now, the government was experimenting with heating plasma so that they could create black holes and teleport objects into different timelines with NASA. So it kind of fits together in this weird way. Now, Ashton Forbes, who published this theory, he mentions how this fits perfectly with US government programs like Project Saver, which test pulsed field displacement, which is just teleportation. Field displacement is taking 0-point energy field and using it to displace objects or displace energy, where you could basically rip open time and space. And if he's right, then that flight didn't just crash. Maybe it was teleported. Maybe it was by mistake. Maybe it was a show of force by the government. I don't know what the answer is. It is fascinating, and I'd love to know what you think. Where did that plane go? What's your theory? You can let me know in the comments down below. Now, at the end of the day, this just shows further and further proof that what the White House is claiming, that reality is flexible, that they can manipulate time and space, it's showing us reality isn't what we think it is. And really, at the end of the day, we've been lied to our entire lives about the nature of reality and really the nature of who you are. We think we're just these little bodies, but we're not. We're powerful vibrational beings. We're really energy fields, but we could distill consciousness to direct our energy fields to influence time and space. Now, that all brings us to part number 4, quantum physics. How reality bending actually works. And this is really where it all clicks together. So if you're still with me here, let me know what you think so far. You give me a like down below or let me know in the comments. So quantum physics, it shows reality isn't fixed, that you can shape it, just like the government is trying to do with their time-space technology. And this is where you're going to see how to use these hidden scientific discoveries to create the life that you want. More money, better health, less stress, you name it. It starts with understanding how reality really works. So let's just break it down so you can see why your thoughts are the ultimate reality creating tool. Now, quantum physics studies super tiny particles, but it's rewriting everything that we know about reality itself. So here's the 4 big ideas from quantum physics that are important for you in creating your reality. Number 1 is the Casimir effect, that space isn't empty, it's alive, right? We think of empty space just like what we can see and there's nothing there. No, there's actually a bunch of energy buzzing along all the time, that we're all part of this invisible energy field that we can't see, but we can get access to. And this energy field is the same one that the government was using, that Tesla was theorizing about tapping into for free energy, for anti-gravity. Well, this is the same energy field that you can tap into to distort and bend your reality. Now, that brings us to number 2 on quantum teleportation. So this is pretty crazy. In 2017, China teleported particle information 1,200 kilometers through space instantaneously. Now, the crazy thing about that is that it's real. So if the government is able to teleport objects or information, then you can teleport your thoughts to influence other particles and reshape your reality. And as you're about to find out, it's actually more simple than we've been led to believe. Number 3 is retrocausality. The future shapes the now is basically what that means. That quantum experiments show that the future can change the present, like editing a video after it's shot. So retrocausality just means that time isn't a one-way street. So the government might use this to tweak events, but you can actually use it too, because you can actually tap into your future to bring it closer to reality now and bend reality now by peering into your future. And number 4, time crystals. So in 2021, Google created time crystals. So they're like these weird materials that don't follow time's normal flow. So they pulse in different patterns that defy physics. And they prove that you can mess with time itself. So if the government is slowing time down for its soldiers, maybe that's what they're trying to figure out, you could also slow time down as well. And this is where it kind of gets personal, because the observer effect in quantum physics says that looking at particles change how they behave. So in the famous double slit experiment, electrons act like bullets when they're shot out, and they act like waves of invisible energy when they're ignored. So your attention decides what reality actually does. Quite literally, your attention is the deciding factor of how reality works. And then there's famous scientists like John Wheeler. He says we live in a participatory universe, which just means that your consciousness is needed to pick what's real. So quantum fields, the universe's building blocks, are responding to your consciousness, your thoughts, your observation, your energy frequency. And this opens the door to the ultimate truth, which is that you are creating your own reality, that you're a quantum observer that can actually manipulate or bend reality exactly how you want. And when we go back to this whole whitehouse.gov statement on that they can manipulate time and space, it's because reality itself isn't physical. Reality itself isn't fixed. Reality itself is just energy. So if you want your dream job, you want more money, it ultimately all comes down to your consciousness. It ultimately comes down to your energy field. And what I believe at the end of the day, this statement by the government, it's not about like the government's ability to like have some secret military technology. It's actually about how we are the most powerful thing in the world. And that is why for so long we've been kept in the dark. And so I want to wrap the video up giving you a simple way in 5 easy steps that you can start to apply this and test this to become the creator of your own reality.